pull up a chair. Today we are talking about the family that invented modern banking, laundered money for the Pope, funded the Renaissance, and then, spectacularly, magnificently, lost it all. My kind of people. The Medici. Florence, Italy, 1400s. A family of wool merchants who decided wool was boring. They were right. They became bankers. And not just any bankers. The bankers. The ones who held the purse strings of kings, popes, and half of Europe's crowned heads. At their peak, the Medici Bank had branches in London, Bruges, Geneva, Lyon, Venice, and Rome. This was the 15th century. There was no telegraph, no telephone, no internet, just phenomenal amounts of ambition and very fast horses. The key players? Giovanni de' Medici, the founder. The man who started it all with a modest loan operation and absolutely no modest ambitions. Then his grandson, Cosimo de' Medici, the one historians call Pater Patriae, father of the fatherland. A banker got that title. Let that sink in. And finally, Lorenzo de' Medici, Lorenzo the Magnificent, the man who turned Florence into the centre of the known world and nearly bankrupted it doing so. 3 generations, one extraordinary rise, one catastrophic fall. Giovanni de' Medici starts the Medici Bank in 1397. Florence is already rich. Giovanni wants to be richer. His genius? He spotted something everyone else ignored. The church had a problem. Canon law, church rules, banned charging interest on loans. They called it usury, a sin, yes. The church considered interest a moral outrage. This is the same church that sold forgiveness for cash. I'm not judging, I'm just noting. So Giovanni invented a workaround. He called it the bill of exchange. You deposit money here in Florence in florins. You collect it in London in pounds. The exchange fee for converting currencies? That's where the profit lived. Not interest, just a fee for services rendered. The church looked the other way. The money flowed. Everybody won. Well, Giovanni won. Mostly. Then came Cosimo. Cosimo didn't just run a bank. He ran Florence. He funded churches, libraries, and artists. Donatello, Brunelleschi, Fra Angelico. The man essentially had the Renaissance on a retainer. And here is the part that should make every modern person deeply uncomfortable. Cosimo used his banking relationships to control political outcomes. Lend money to the right lord, and that lord owes you a favour. Lend money to enough lords, and suddenly you are the most powerful man in the room. He never held official office. He never needed to. Power was just a line of credit. Soft power. It's older than you think. The Medici Bank's crown jewel client, the papacy itself. The Vatican's finances ran through the Medici, papal revenue, taxes from across Christendom, crusade funds, all of it flowed through Florence. The bankers were banking for God. I have seen a lot in my centuries on this earth. That still impresses me. Lorenzo inherits the bank at 20 years old. He is brilliant. He is charming. He is a poet, a diplomat, a patron of genius. He is also, unfortunately, a terrible banker. Lorenzo loved the arts more than the ledgers. He spent lavishly. He extended enormous loans to clients who had no realistic plan to repay them. He allowed the bank's branch managers to take bigger and bigger risks, with less and less oversight. Branch managers gambling with other people's money and facing no consequences. Wild concept. Never happened again, obviously. Here is where it gets interesting. The moment everything unravels. The year is 1478. The Pazzi family, rivals, also bankers, also Florentines, launch a conspiracy. The Pazzi conspiracy. They attempt to assassinate Lorenzo and his brother Giuliano during High Mass in Florence Cathedral. In front of the congregation, at the altar, on Easter Sunday, in church, during Easter. They really committed to the bit. Giuliano is stabbed 19 times. He dies. Lorenzo escapes. And here is the twist that nobody talks about. The assassination was backed by the Pope, Pope Sixtus IV, the Medici's own biggest client, the man whose holy finances they managed for decades. The Pope tried to have his banker murdered with a sword at Easter Mass. Why? Because Sixtus wanted to install his nephew in a powerful position. Lorenzo said no. And when you say no to a pope who also controls your political enemies and has access to your rivals' credit lines, things escalate. Lorenzo survived. He rallied Florence. He crushed the Pazzi. He hung their bodies from windows across the city. He was 26. Magnificent indeed. But the damage was done. The papacy withdrew its accounts. The London branch collapsed under bad debts. The Bruges branch followed. The bank that had funded the Renaissance was quietly bleeding out. Lorenzo, distracted by war and diplomacy and poetry, so much poetry, never stopped the hemorrhage. By the time Lorenzo died in 1492, the Medici bank was already a ghost. His son Piero inherited a great name and an empty vault. 2 years later, the Medici were expelled from Florence by a mob. 2 years, from magnificent to mob. That is a fast descent, even by my standards. So, what happened to the family that invented modern banking, funded the Renaissance, and held the Pope's wallet? They became the Pope. 2 of them, actually, Leo X and Clement VII, both Medici, both disastrous in their own charming ways. A branch of the family married into French royalty. Catherine de' Medici became Queen of France. She is credited with introducing the fork to the French court, the greatest banking dynasty in Western history. Their lasting contribution to France? The fork. The Medici built the architecture of modern money, letters of credit, international branches, political lending, relationship banking. Everything you see in finance today, the bones of it, they assembled in Florence 500 years ago with bad roads and no computers. And then they got distracted by art, by politics, by poetry, by a pope with a grudge and a nephew to place. My old friend greed didn't finish them. Ambition did, the kind that stops looking at the numbers because the numbers stopped being the point. The case is closed. The Medici were the greatest financial power the medieval world produced. They funded genius, corrupted popes, and left Europe permanently rearranged. Not bad for a family that started in wool. The fork, though.